Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are in the Ford Crown Victoria, and we'll be going over what the coils and plugs, like where they're located, any symptoms of bad coils and plugs. So let's go ahead and pop the hood. Alrighty, so here we have the 4.6 liter V8, and we're going to be going over, like I said, the coils and the plugs. So now you're probably wondering, if you're new to under the hood of one of these V8s, you're probably wondering, well, where are they located? Are they hard to get to? All that good stuff. So right here, that's a coil, and then they go in a row. This one is kind of covered up right there. And depending on what side of the engine you're on, you can see them a little bit easier. So like right here, that's one. The other one's right there. And they just go in a row. Now, of course, when you pull those out, the plug is located underneath the coil. So you have to, use your socket or whatever to do that part. So on this vehicle, you have 8. Now, if you have an older model Crown Vic, like the 97 and older, you're going to have coil packs. So you have a pack right here and a pack on that side, and then the plugs will still be in the same spot. So for each coil, usually the price runs around $50 for like the Motorcraft. That's the brand one. And you may be able to get some cheaper, but I would advise to go ahead and go with the Motorcraft, which is the Ford brand, because you want it to last. You don't have to be up on the hood again doing this same work. Now, some symptoms of a bad coil pack, or just let's start with the coil pack. It's going to be when you're driving, you may feel the vehicle jerking, like it's or skipping, so to speak. So you feel like a skip, it'll be riding smooth, and then you feel it like skipping, and it'll smooth back out, especially if you're going uphill. That's when you really notice the coil packs, if they have a problem. So if you're starting to climb a hill and the vehicle start kind of skipping as far as power wise, then that's going to be a bad coil pack. Typically the check engine light will come on once the coil pack is just about all the way out. But if it's just just starting to go out, then the light won't come on just yet. So you have to kind of guess, so to speak, of which coil pack it may be. Right now, one way of doing that, well, I would just say try to wait till the light come on if you can. If it's not, it hasn't came on yet, because when the light comes on, it's going to tell you exactly which coil pack it is. It'll say 1 through 8. It'll say, oh, number 1 is misfiring, or number 2 is misfiring, because if you see you got 8, so trying to play the guessing game, yeah, won't work. But now, let's say it says number 1 is misfiring, what you can do is swap one out with another one, right? They're all universal, and then see if it's still, it's still saying number 1 if it is, or if it changes to the one that you swapped it out with, then okay, that's the bad coil pack. It's $50 each. It's about $400 plus tax. So you can see if you want to replace all of them, that is about what it'll run you. So you definitely want to make sure before you start swapping them out. Now, plugs, same thing. Now the plugs, the car is just going to start running rough. It's going to start hesitating when it's time to give it some fuel. It's going to run rough. So that's when it's time to change the plugs out. And you can always pull one plug out, and then you can look at it and see if it's worn, or if it's got oil on it or whatever, if it's just wore out, and change it out. Now, tip on changing out the plugs. Remember this. Only do it when the engine is cold. Do not drive to the shop or drive the car and then come back, pop the hood, and start snatching the plugs out. Because if you do, you're going to strip them out, and then as you drive, it's going to blow out, and you're going to have a whole nother situation. So on these V8s like this, they have they're known for blowing out spark plugs. You just be driving and then pow, and then next thing you know, it's just, you got a whole headache on your hands. So the tip about that is to change it out once it is cold. The engine needs to be cold. If you let it sit overnight and then get up next day and swap them out, that'll be the best. And just remember not to over tighten them, but definitely don't swap them out while the engine is hot. It needs to be pure cold, like just it hasn't been driven in hours, right? And take your time doing that. So that pretty much wraps up the coils and plugs on this vehicle. I do have other videos of me swapping the plugs and coils out on a V8 just like this. So I'll try to see if I can find that and leave it in the description below. If not, it's on the channel. I think it may have said Crown Vic Misfire. I think that's the title of it. If you want to go and check that out. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button. Also leave a comment if you ever did any work on one of these engines, as far as, the coil pack, swapping them out, or the plugs. And if you got any tips that you want to leave the people who are watching the channel as well, or who may come across the channel, or what think are a good way to get to them, because you see some of them are like right up under the fuel rail. But luckily these things, once you unplug it, take that plug out, you can kind of wiggle those and get around the fuel rail. So that's a cool thing. It's, everything is right here on top. That's the cool thing about these V8s, these Crown Victorias and Grand Marquis, and you have plenty of space. Like, look at all this space to get to everything, and the important pieces are right on top as well. So that's pretty cool. So, right to it. You don't have to try to dig down and all that stuff to try to find it, and all that hard work. So you have plenty of space under the hood to operate and get things done.